Easter Monday afternoon show. Hope you're okay. I'm presenting today from my socially isolated Loch Lomond Villa penthouse. And I'm delighted to welcome David Foley, Jack Smedley, Massie and Iona Fyfe to the show. We'll also be getting a wee song later from Iona. How's it going, guys?
Fantastic.
Good, how are you?
Did you all have a good day yesterday? Did you roll your eggs?
Just rolled ours in the garden just now.
A day late?
Mum said it was fine.
I never owned, none of my family liked to eat eggs. Well, the real eggs. It's really disappointing.
That's cool.
Yes, I know. We grew up eating and rolling eggs that my family wouldn't even eat them. It's terrible. But anyway, before we get to chatting, we have got a wee video here from our Glasgow Springburn correspondent, Iona Fyfe.
Hello to everyone in the studio and viewers watching at home. I'm your Glasgow correspondent, Iona Fyfe, reporting to you from Cowlairs, Springburn. Nae much has happened today as folk go on their daily walks, cars and trains pass, and some folk decide to let their deal dug out at 7 a.m. to bark the hail place doon. Join me, Iona Fyfe, as I explore all of the brilliant things that you can do during lockdown. Well, for all you budding ballad singers and folk singers alike out there, this time could be a great time to learn all 305 of the child ballads. Instead, I've chosen to spend my time staring vacantly out the window, thinking about what I need on my next Tesco's run. I need milk. I need milk. For some years, this might be a braw time to get yourself a wee yoga mat, get down on a flare, only to realise that you're stiffer than a plank of wood. This might be a brilliant time to get that recording project started, or do a live stream gig to all your audience. Or you could just come close to throwing your laptop out the window in a technology-induced rage. You could start to learn a new language, or start listening to a new podcast. Alternatively, you could just cut your losses, sit down, put on Netflix, have a wee binge, cup of coffee, and if you're like me and it's after 11 or 12, you could probably just start day drinking, crack open that bottle of craft gin you've got in the cupboard, no bother, any colour, any type will do. Your Glasgow correspondent, Iona Fyfe, signing off. Back to you in the studio, Simon.
Thanks very much, Iona. Right, so Jack, David, you have just released a brand new album, Time to Fly. I was going to say CD, but is it a CD?
Yeah, it's a CD.
Oh, look at that. I have to say the cover is fabulous.
Thanks very much.
Who designed it?
It's us. Sorry?
Who designed it?
Sam Hurt designed it, and along with ourselves, sort of telling him what to do, but he was the mastermind really behind it.
Oh, that's great. Well, I was listening to the album today, and I was also talking to Ryan Young, the fiddler, this morning. We were both saying how great it sounds, just the over sound quality of it all.
Well, if you look at Jack's camera, Jack can show you the studio we recorded it in.
Yeah, this really high-tech bedroom here, or ex-bedroom, in Maryhill.
So is it an album of all your own composed material?
Yeah, we wrote everything on the album. Some of it was tunes that we had lying around for years, and there was a few things on there that we wrote together. And there's about 8 bars on one of the tunes that were written by our good friend Stephen Blake, who's the piper in Rura. And yeah, it was just nice to sort of bring all of that music together that was never really getting played. And we kind of figured we'd just throw it together with some pals and try and record it at some point.
And who were the musicians on the album?
So we had Jen Butterworth doing guitar, we had James Lindsay playing double bass, and John Lowry doing some percussion and kit on it as well.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the whole album. I loved the tunes on it. And one thing I noticed, you had was it sampled drums at some point on it?
That was David's idea. I'll let David explain that.
I can't really remember what happened. If it was it just filtered in the end?
Yes.
Yeah, aye. So We wanted a filtered sound on the drums, so we just got John to go down and...
That was his drum and bass moment there.
Yeah, drum and bass moment.
Yeah.
He just hit a lot of stuff, and we sort of got it into the right place, and that's how history was made. So.
Did you play any bowden on the album?
No, Jack wanted me to, and we tried it, but I just didn't think it sounded. It wasn't. I don't think it fitted the sound of the album. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so no, I did not record any Baran. I do enough of that already. I hate it so much. Can't be bothered anymore.
And yeah, I mean, you recorded it in Jack's room as well. I mean, I was quite surprised, just as I said, it sounds like Castle Studios. Let's be honest.
I think you're really stretching it there, Simon. To be honest.
If anyone wants to rent Jack's home studio after this isolation, it's about the same price as Castletown.
Yeah,
Studios.
I think 500 a day should cover it.
Aye.
Well, we actually have a little review that Stephen Blake, your friend and composer, has sent to us. Let's see what he has to say.
Hi, Simon. I've listened to the Smedley album, and yeah, I just wanted to say I think it's a lovely album, especially for relaxing on a lockdown Easter Sunday. There's some really nice playing from some great guests. It's well recorded. Some lovely tunes that the boys have written as well. Only slight criticism is I do think the pipes are very low in the mix. Would have liked to have heard a bit more up front. It's almost like I'm not even there.
Fantastic. Well, good. So anyway, obviously Stephen plays with you in Rura, and Rura, it doesn't feel, it feels a funny thing to say, but you're 10 years old this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah, scary.
So it's a bit of a strange year for us. Obviously, we had a lot of amazing things lined up for the summer, and an album is going to be coming out at some point. A live album from our big show we did at Celtic Connections in January, but who knows at the minute? It's all a bit up in the air.
So has that album been recorded and mixed?
It's been recorded, mixed and mastered. It's all ready to go. We recorded our show at the Fruit Market at Celtic Connections this year, so it's Rura live at the old Fruit Market, and there's loads of special guests on there, people that have played with us over the years or been a big part in the band's life, I guess. And we had an amazing string section as well. So yeah, it's actually, we were really nervous about it, but the album's come out great. It sounds really good, and there's loads of good crowd noise on it and stuff as well. So that's brilliant. But we're just sort of, as everyone else is at the minute, in a bit of limbo with plans and when to release it and things like that. So that's where we are.
Well, hopefully all of these gigs will be rescheduled, actually, because I love the band. I've always loved them, and I love the sound that you make and the energy. Especially your live performance is great as well. You obviously do a lot of thinking about lighting and sound. And
I think a lot of people are starting to do that now. You know, where the venue and budget allows for it, it's lighting especially makes such a massive difference. So we try and get that involved wherever we can, but in terms of things getting moved into next year, it does seem to be the case that most festivals that are having to cancel at the minute are sort of just copying and pasting their lineups across, luckily. So here's hoping long term everyone will be fine after this.
Well, that's brilliant. Well, we're going to hear a video from yours and David's album now. It's the track Head East. Can you tell us about that?
On you go, David.
Head East is I think that's one of your tunes, isn't it, Jack?
No, that's yours.
No, the
middle one is mine, but the other two are yours. It's more your set. You go for it. Okay. You take the limelight here.
Okay, the first tune is a tune that I sort of resurrected from 19th century manuscript, and sort of fiddled around with it to create this sort of 7/8 thing. I basically rewrote it. I did that a few years ago. And then the middle tunes were a Jax, and the last tune is called Billy on the Bowring, which I wrote after a really, really intense experience in Cavan. That's all you're going to get. I'm sorry, I can't tell you anymore. It would take a long time to explain the origin of that story.
Excellent. Well, let's have a listen. So this is Billy in the Bowring. Fantastic. Really rocking. So hi Anna, how are you doing?
Very well, thanks. Keeping fine.
Of course, you are the Black Isle correspondent.
That's it.
Has that always been your dream?
Well, sometimes dreams surprise you. Dreams you didn't know you had can sometimes come true. And that's what's happened. This is today is my 21st Black Isle correspondent video. This is 3 weeks now. Daily absolute nonsense from the garden here.
That's amazing. Shall we have a quick look at your shall we have a quick look at your theme tune? He says smoothly.
Yeah.
With the daily updates you can't make up, it's the Black Isle correspondent. She lives in Fort Rose and tells us what goes on. If your isolation causes desperation, try the Black Isle correspondent. If you're feeling grumpy, you'll find some company here.
Hey! So what is it you think about when you're about to become the Black Isle correspondent each day? Do you put on a cape or...?
No, I normally just put on a jacket if it's raining. Other than that, there's not much forethought. There's been a bit more planning today, as I've decided to shake things up a bit from this week. But it started off as a bit of crack. Bruce McGregor's doing this Live at 5 thing every day on the McGregor's Bar Facebook page. And for a couple of days before the lockdown, I'd been going into the pub and playing tunes with him and just kind of having a bit of a chat, because it's easier when you've got other people to talk to. And then the pubs all got shut down. And so we decided to try and do it online. And I don't know, just thought, it'd be quite cool to just bring the news from where I was based, which is like 8 miles from where he is. But yeah, that's it. It's just a bit of crack. However, Susan Calman a week later started doing a programme from her garden. And today she's announced that she's dealing with her shed and her bins, which we covered on the Black Isle correspondent last week. So behind the times.
Oh man, I don't know if you watch Great British Menu.
Yes.
That Susan Calman when she did the Scottish week a couple of weeks ago was amazing.
Yes, I think I was here for that. Mum and Dad watch it, so
that was good actually. Yeah, but obviously a bit of a copycat as well.
Well, somebody's getting ideas for their garden programs from somewhere. I think maybe if you're going to make a program from your garden, you're fairly restricted with your content. So probably I'd say most people would turn to hosing out the bucket if they had to.
And have you got any hints or any little things that are on today's programme?
Well, I'm halfway through the edit for today's programme. I've decided to share my daily exercise with folk. I've done 3 weeks now of just the garden and the house. And I've not actually been out for a walk in the daytime as a result. So I've decided now I'm going to go for a walk in the daytime and share a bit of where I am then with folk.
Fantastic. Well, of course, I'll just quickly say hello to Laura McKenzie from Minnesota, who says hello to everybody.
Oh, hiya.
Hello.
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 So apart from being a film director all the time at the moment, I mean, your normal job is fabulous guitar player. And we were last together in January at Celtic Connections Festivals, which seems a long time ago.
Yeah.
But you were being the musical director for the 20th anniversary of the Young Trad Musician Award.
That's right, yeah. This was a big night at the main auditorium in the hall in Glasgow with most of the previous winners of the award. I think we only had 2 that couldn't make it. Stuart Cassels was going to come and take part and give us a bit of chat, but I think he works for, is it Macallan Whiskey now, and the head honcho was coming to visit, so he couldn't get away. And Ewan Robertson was on tour in Australia with Braybach at the time, so he couldn't make it. But everybody else was there and took part, and it was a totally brilliant crack night.
It was. Did you find it difficult to bring everybody together?
Actually, no, because everybody was so willing, and everybody seemed to be really up for collaborating and working on stuff. The thing that was difficult was deciding what direction to take with it and how to bring stuff together. So once I decided to run it in chronological order and ask people for somebody, like some stuff that they would be happy to collaborate on, it was kind of easier to knit it together then. But everybody was just up for joining in and playing on whatever they could. So it was really easy after that.
Yeah, it was a lovely night, and so many people enjoyed it as well. But they all really complimented your MDing style.
Oh, well, that's very nice. It was a real pleasure to work with everybody. So
no, it was great actually, and then sort of bringing everybody back in. I was sort of thinking about this today, and and Iona, who's going to sing us a song at the moment, we've all been involved in the Young Trad Award somehow, because David,
yes.
you played the Bowden in the finals at least once or twice as the official accompanist.
Yeah, you let me accompany, but you never got me into the semis.
oh,
something.
Well, the semis is always just guitar and piano. There's no room for drums.
I think David was too good for the entire thing. That's why he just went straight in at accompanist.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I heard anyway.
And, well, Jack, of course, you made it to the finals. I can't remember what year it was, though.
It's 2009. 2009.
There was a great remark at that concert in January. Dan Thorpe stood up the mic and said, he said, I was going to play my tunes that I won the final with, but actually Jack Smedley's tunes were better, so I'm going to play them.
He did. He actually messaged me not long before the concert, and he asked me to send him some dots for one of the tunes that I genuinely just don't have, and I can barely even remember the tune now either. So I pointed him in the direction of where he could maybe get the music, and I also said, I'm just too bitter now that you're not getting it off me.
Well, he played it beautifully, just to add insult to it.
I could have played it better, I'm sure, but we'll see.
It was a great march, actually, that he played. I remember that. Do you remember?
It was a lovely tune.
Do you remember who was in that final with you then? Was it Dan Thorpe, yourself?
Dan and Rory McMillan, and then Lorne McDougall, Adam Holmes, of course. That's where I first met Adam. Myself and Kenneth Nicholson, Gaelic singer.
Was that not ended up being the Muckleloons?
That was what happened. Yes, the
and Ewan Robertson was the previous winner, was he? He was involved in the album of the years. Yeah.
Aye. So and Kenneth Nicholson couldn't actually do any of our tour or he did the album recording, but he couldn't do any of the gigs or the tour. So Katrina Watt became Kenny. So as you can imagine, the entire thing was quite a lot of fun.
One of the things I enjoyed about that 20th winners thing was the fact that you were getting people like Anna and Emily Smith from the very early years of winning, meeting the people who had just won. And I remember Paddy Callahan saying to me that he'd never even met Emily Smith before. And I thought that was a really nice coming together.
Yeah, it was a cool thing. There were quite a lot of people who'd never, maybe like, as you say, hadn't met, certainly hadn't played music together. So it was great, and it was lovely. Katrina Watt, that Jack just mentioned, she's not really been singing much for the past couple of years at all, and it was just absolutely brilliant to hear her singing again. Likewise, James Graham hasn't been doing much performing, and to hear them both singing was just totally brilliant as well.
Well, it's a great night. So, well, next up we have a song from Iona Fyfe, who was in the Young Trad finals herself, and she is going to sing you The Braes of Strathblane.
As I went walking one morning in May, down by on green meadows I carelessly did stray. I spied a fair maid, she was standing her lane. She was bleaching her clays on the braes o' Strathblane. I stepped up to her as I seemed for to pass. You're bleaching your clays, my bonny young lass. It's a 12-month and mony since I had you in my mind. All for to get married if you'd be inclined. To marry, oh to marry, I'm far young. Besides, all you young men have a flattering tongue. My father and mother would be angry be if I were to marry a rover like thee. Now to all you pretty fair maids, wherever you be, oh never slight a young man for his poverty. For the slighting of a young man, I'm sure you'll get name. And single I will wander on the braes o' Strathblane. Short but sweet.